Aloha, BMore Brew Crew. Welcome back to the bar. We are rolling with our 2024 pumpkin lineup, hoping to give you the scoop on all the local pumpkin brews for this upcoming season. I've got a special guest with me for his third review, and you're going to introduce this one. We got Nick from Heavy Seas, dude, and that's what we're rolling with. Go ahead, you can introduce that puppy.
We absolutely are. The Greater Pumpkin. An multiple award-winning beer that we put out. It is a absolutely delightful pumpkin ale, brewed with pumpkin and spices. And on top of that, we're aging it in bourbon barrels. Now, typically we use Brown-Forman barrels. It's an umbrella company. They own Forester's, Jack Daniel's, stuff like that. So you're definitely going to get that bite, that classic bourbon taste to it. But it's not going to be so overwhelming. It is one of my favorite beers to drink in the wintertime and the fall time as well. It's a treat. Everybody loves it. It's this and Blackbeard's Breakfast that tends to fly off the shelf. Like, people absolutely love this beer.
Yep, I was stoked when I saw it was going to drop, and I can tell you in the last couple of years, this has always been in my top 3 pumpkin brews of the last several years. So unless, like I just told you guys, unless Chris really screwed something up at the batch, it's going to hit for me. And also joining us here tonight, we have got Tim the Gardener and Adam, the guy with 2 first names,
That's
John.
right.
That's the best name. You got to come up with a better name because that's the best name I can roll with.
2 names.
But, yeah, 2 first names.
Instead of 2 chains, 2 names.
Changed.
What is Z on the end?
Oh, is that copyright infringement?
No.
Okay. All right. Well,
Not anymore.
Said the lawyer.
I was probably born before them. I'll take it.
all right, man. We'll crack that thing open because I am
Let's
thirsty.
see if we can get a...
Oh,
Could have done that again if I tried.
woohoo! All right.
And I think it's actually your glass.
That is my glass. I should have left it in there.
That's
just
a keeper.
Yeah. All right.
Smells so good coming out of the bottle. You know what? I'll
You're
see
gonna,
how good a
you're
pour
gonna,
I do.
You're going to pour this one?
Terrible pour.
That's not that bad.
Absolutely awful.
There's not a lot of head on it, though.
Not really. Not with the way I pour.
It's nice and soft and gentle. Look, you're not even touching the glass. That's a professional bartender pour it there. Actually, no,
That's a good
Tim just got a
color.
good. Yeah, I'm digging it. Is there anything left?
There's a little bit at the bottom left.
Touch him.
Hit me.
Up.
All right. Okay. I'm
A
going
little bit at the bottom.
with the 10%.
Luckily, you don't have to go upstairs, so that's all right.
Ah, okay, so 10%.
Yeah, you just get that pumpkin with the bourbon barrel. Like,
And you know
man.
what's nice? It's not overpowering. It's not knocking you down. It's not punching you in the face. It's just so subtle
Yeah.
and so charming. It's not aggressive.
Nope.
This is
Not at
not
all.
sweet. This is
It's got a good nose. I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fitting the profile perfectly of what I feel like a good bourbon barrel
this
aged.
is a little more
pumpkin beer.
traditional allspice
Yep.
flavor.
And it just
Or
looks nice,
smell.
too.
All right, on the bottle it says, as fall approaches and thoughts turn to Halloween, we roll out the Greater Pumpkin, a copper ale with notes of vanilla, oak, pumpkin, and flavors of autumnal spice. 10% alcohol by volume. Then we got the classic bottle art. They don't really, I don't think it's changing. Is there any subtle differences from last year, the year before?
Not that I've seen. Some refined lines, yes, but nothing detailed
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah. I don't think I have an aged bottle from last year to compare it to, but yeah, if I'm just looking at it, it looks like the same bottles every year. But it's banging. It's got the classic, pumpkin on there.
It reminds
the
me of the Great
headless
Pumpkin. It reminds me of the one from the Simpsons episode where the Great Pumpkin attacked.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty good.
And I do love The Simpsons.
So-
Grew up on The Simpsons. It's that now my kids are freaking huge Simpsons fans.
Yes.
And like, okay, well, let's
I
dive
like
in.
that it's a little hazy.
Yeah, there's a little bit of haze to it, yeah. It's not super translucent. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, I mean, it's got a nice, like, rich, full-bodied banger right there.
We found the pumpkin.
Well, this is by far the heaviest pumpkin profile that we've had so far. And you really get those classic notes in there.
And the alcohol definitely
it's so
jumps.
good.
And you can get the hints or notes of the bourbon barrel aging, but it's not overwhelming. It's not overpowering like you get in
Kind of
some
rounds it
other.
though. That's what it
No,
does.
that flavor tastes great.
One of the keys to it is we'll brew a whole batch and we'll throw it in the barrels, we'll let it set for a couple months. And then when it comes time to uncork it, we'll brew another batch of it that hasn't been in barrels and we'll blend them together.
Oh.
You're still getting that bourbon bite, but it's not so overwhelming that it overpowers the beer, and that's all you get. You know what I mean? Kind of like other beers that we've tasted already. That kind of it's that overwhelming coffee flavor, and you have a little bit of pumpkin. You still get the bourbon, but you're also getting the pumpkin there with it.
Yeah.
So before you blend it, I'm sure you taste it.
Yeah.
What's that first batch taste like?
Now they haven't let me do it yet.
Okay.
Do it yet? Whatever that word is. But from what I hear, it is really. You can even smell it coming out of the barrels. Like before you even taste it, it's just pure alcohol.
Have you ever tried it before it goes in for the
I
aging?
would love to one time.
Really? No. I'm just curious how much.
Chris,
of
if
a-
you see this, I would love to try that one time. I'm serious.
Yeah, I would too.
Chris, hook them up.
Just pop the top, roll it over.
Yeah, exactly.
Run it through a strainer so there's no wood and ash, and we'll be okay.
I made it this far in life. I drank out of a garden hose. I can take that like a champ.
I gotta say, I am lucky enough. I have been back with Chris, and he's let me try some stuff like fresh, like right out. And yeah, there's just something. It just pops in a whole different way when it's that fresh.
Yeah.
You know.
And again, even smelling the glass afterward, it's still just, it sits and it's so delightful.
Yeah.
It is.
This is it.
And I think the 10% is sneaky because to me,
Yeah.
it like.
Yeah.
It's not like a rough. Like I said, smooth. It's smooth. It's rolled over.
Yeah. And that's the thing about Heavy Seas beers, surprisingly. Yeah, heavy seas, but when you drink these beers, they're surprisingly light. When we started our double hazy series with Impending Doom, the OG, 9.5%, it's going to knock you down, but it's so smooth going in. When we did our triple cannon release, again, it was a 12%, absolutely delightful,
Yeah,
knock you down, but it is dangerously smooth.
If you go back and look at our review, that's the exact thing I said.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, you
Yeah.
feel like you could knock off like 4 or 5 of them. And I remember having 2, and I was like, ooh, I'm going to have to drive home today. And I mean, they snuck up on me because those were 12%, right?
Yeah, 12%.
12% on
Yeah,
those.
they came knocking through.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So good, though.
All right. Well, this didn't disappoint. I knew it wouldn't disappoint.
The pumpkin is there.
I'll go
We found the
first.
Pumpkin.
For me, this is every year I'm going to the Greater Pumpkin. This 4-4 for me,
Okay.
and that's not because you're here. I've always said that. No, seriously, I've always said from the beginning. I've done reviews in front of brewers before, and it doesn't hit
Yeah,
the
since
mark
we
for me.
started, you talked about it that way. So
Yeah, like I'm always going to be honest, and I mean I already knew I was going to like this one coming in, but yeah, 4-4 for me.
Oh.
Whoever wants to go
Come on,
next.
guard.
All right.
G, big G. Come on.
I'm not a big pumpkin beer drinker, and the flavors that I like in here are the bourbon, the vanilla, the. I like that it's got a little more alcohol in it. I like that intense flavor, and it makes I think it makes the pumpkin more palatable instead of a sugary or sweet flavor.
Yeah.
And I think it's really good. I'm going like 4-1 on this.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not your traditional like pumpkin pie porter, but it's good. It's really good.
The bourbon, side note to it, it's nice because I can sit in front of a fire in a camp chair, or I could be sitting in a regular chair in front of a fire in my house. It's rounded, it's smooth, it's a little bit more like elevated for me. So yeah, I would go, and I'm a rough scorer. That's a 4-1 for me. I do like that. So.
All right.
I'm not being company man here, but for me, it's closer to a 4-7, just because it has that like soft, like let me cradle you kind of quality.
Yeah.
It's not overbearing, it's not overpowering. It has the right heft to it, and maybe even a little less than you would expect. It's that light body, it's got a beautiful color, great smell to it. It's just all around a really, really classy beer, and I think that's why it's won so many awards, and that's why these guys take it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, to win awards, it really has to fit in the profile in the category that it's getting entered in, and that's why I feel like it really does very well. And it's not like a gimmicky, like pumpkin pie porter or spice latte like we had before, and it just really hits the mark.
It's not pretentious. It's like you go home, you have a glass of bourbon, right? You chill out, you mellow it. It's not pretentious. It's just easy, and it's kind of the same mental state you can push it. It's like. It's not like this wild, crazy stuff. It's like, I'm going to relax.
Yeah.
Ice cold out of the cooler.
Yeah.
camp chair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be good.
And sometimes you don't need to be fancy. Sometimes the simplest ingredients make the best things out there.
I wear my tuxedo shirt.
That's
So, actually, you know what? You know what I'm going to hit you
Yeah,
with,
of course.
actually. You may or may not know the answer to this.
Well,
So,
bear attacks, and
for
you
those
look
of
good.
you at home, so Nick's brother brews over at Sapwood, used to brew at Heavy Seas. Is Sapwood rolling out a pumpkin brew this year? Sorry to put you on the spot. I don't know if you might know that or not. Or maybe it's a secret. We're not
Phone
supposed
a
to know.
friend.
Insider secret. Don't drop anything on here. You're not supposed to.
They're
to know
probably.
that. Okay. We'll go with probably.
Probably.
I'm going to have
All
to reach
signs
out
point-
and see if they want to get it in our 2024 lineup.
All signs point to yes. Okay.
Well, it's because a lot of the brewers, they have to get out their seasonal beers now, and a lot of people complain like, "Oh, it's too early to have these out." But
I'm
to
one
make
of those
them
people.
I went through the grocery
Well-
store today. All the
pumpkin everything.
Yeah.
Halloween candy's out.
Well,
It's
see, I
out there,
love
man.
pumpkin everything.
I think it's on June.
But I get the market why you have to put them out this soon to make it profitable for you, because next thing you know, you have to roll out with your stouts and porters for the winter, and
Stouts and
there's a
porters.
limited shelf life for these, so you do have to get them out early. So, yeah.
Dunkin' and Starbucks did it.
Hey, I've already got my Dunkin' pumpkin K-cups and coffee, so yeah. All right, well, here. Go enjoy yourselves a Heavy Seas Greater Pumpkin. This is one of the best beers you're going to get this fall here in Maryland from the OG brewer.
This is local.
That's what we do, man. Ever
Yeah.
since '95, been here.
Yep, absolutely. Well, boys, thank you so much for joining me for another review. Y'all, thank you for watching. We appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you at future BMore Brew Crew events, Heavy Seas, all over town. Thank you so much for being just awesome people and awesome folks. Drink local. And until next time, aloha, everybody. Peace out.